What's going on, everyone? This is another wonderful opportunity for us on this platform. It's time to heal, to share some thoughts. We have a new topic that we will be discussing. Our counterparts, Lisa and Gareth, they are taking care of things, saving the world. Um, one therapy session at a time, but they will be with us momentarily. But we have wonderful Mel. You know, Mel's gonna give it to you rough, raw, and rugged, honest, and in a loving way. So, how have you been, Mel?
Pretty good. Pretty
Okay,
good. Getting better one day at a
that's
time.
it. That's all
Been
you can
missing,
do.
been missing giving my opinion.
That's all you can. And your opinion is greatly appreciated here.
I
You're
got some stuff
loved.
to say.
So today, we are going to be discussing the misfortunate events that took place in Memphis with Kendra Scott. I don't know the young man's name, but the preface of what took place is that there was an adult male in an underage girl's room when the parent was not home, and the escalation to the situation ended in that young man being shot in the back of the head. So, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a look at this news clip and get some information on what has taken place, and then Mel and I are gonna give our earnest reaction to it and what our thoughts are on this topic. So, bear with us while we all observe this video.
And in tonight's crime alert, a local mother is charged with shooting and killing a man who was found hiding under her child's bed early yesterday morning. WREG's Caitlin Barker is live in the neighborhood where the shooting took place with the latest on what happened. Caitlin?
Good afternoon, Stephanie. This shooting took place here at around 1:40 a.m. and it happened at this home right across from me on Travis Road. Now, this all happened after a mother found a man in her house. She says he was hiding under a child's bed. When police arrived, they found the man dead near the front porch. Now, the woman, 36-year-old Kendra Scott, now faces multiple charges, including first-degree murder and employment of a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. The man who was shot has now been identified as Redarius Morton. According to police, Morton was invited by a child to the home and came in through the back door at 1 a.m. The arrest affidavit says when Kendra Scott came home, she was heard banging on the front door and yelling, "Who's at my house?" Once the child opened the door, Morton was found hiding under the child's bed. As Morton was leaving the house, both Scott and Morton went out to the front porch, and that's when the juvenile says she heard a gunshot. Morton was found shot in the back of the head. Now, I spoke with one neighbor who says he feels bad for everyone involved.
For the child, since her mama going to jail, the boy family, since he was walking away, and I guess I feel bad for the mama. She should have thought more.
Now, I spoke to multiple neighbors who say that in this case, nobody wins. Now, we're actively working to confirm the age of the man that was involved and the juvenile, and we'll have more on that at 10 p.m. tonight. I'm Caitlin Barker reporting live for your news leader, WREG News Channel 3.
Wow. So, what are your thoughts on that, Mel?
I get it. I
You
have
get
three
it?
daughters. I have three daughters. If I'd have come home and seen a grown man, not a 14-year-old kid, not a kid my daughter's age, not a fellow middle schooler, that's a grown man.
Okay. Before we tap into this, this is definitely a sensitive subject, and I totally understand, Mel. I have a daughter myself, and I would just feel uncomfortable with the opposite sex being in the home with my daughter where there's no adult home, period. And if both parents are out. That's first and foremost. But I want to say this. Um, this is a sensitive topic because there is still information that's not, we don't have all of the information. I am not protecting what has taken place. This was a man of a certain age in this young girl's room. when the mother could have been out taking care of business or just doing what she needed to take care of. We don't know what exactly has taken place, but I just want to preface this in the sense of we're not pointing fingers. We obviously see that everybody lost. The mother's incarcerated, the young man lost his life, and now the daughter is motherless at this particular point in time. So I just wanted to share that and just preference this before we go into this, giving what our standpoint is on this topic. So go ahead, Mel. I apologize for cutting you off.
No, for sure, for sure. It's just my opinion where I can understand. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm.
I come home and there is an adult man in my house. I'm gonna flip out. I'm gonna be scared for myself because I don't know him. And if my daughter were like 18 or 20, the same age, then I'd be like, I told you about having men up in my house.
Right.
And then it would
Okay.
just be a yelling thing. Now I'm mad at my daughter. You can get out. Now I'm going to be mad at my daughter. But the daughter's so young and that's an adult. So I don't know. And I don't know what mom was doing.
Okay.
Like, was mom out partying so that she had alcohol? You know what I
Right.
mean? So then that's going to weaken your
Your
rationale.
coherent. Yeah. Okay. And thank you for sharing that, Mel. And I'm gonna say this. I'm looking at it from so many different levels. And once again, I have a daughter and I have a son. I have both. And when I look at it I remember I was young at one point in time. And when I say I was young, my mind kind of went back to I know that women can sometimes say they're older than what they actually are. So we will never know certain things because that young man is no longer here. That's one. Two, um, I don't look my age. So, in the midst of whatever's going on, once again, I don't condone and I'm not protecting or anything like that. But who would have known this man's age at that particular point in time? Now, being upset because there is a man in the home or someone of the opposite sex in the home with your child, okay, I totally get it. Ass whipping, you're upset, you gotta go. You know what I mean? Now we understand that this gentleman is older, so it's just like, okay, now we have more details and layers to what's going on. But I'm still stuck and somewhat bothered at the aspect of whatever took place from that bedroom to the front porch and him being shot in the back of the head. My whole thing is how and why. I have my thoughts, but I'm really, really like, why? Why? What would you say?
You make a good argument because I know my initial reaction would be upset. Would I go grab a gun and shoot him? No. Now, if I walked in the house and caught him in an act with my child, I don't know.
Right.
But I think it's fair to say, just on base of what we've heard, that wasn't the case.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, he was up. I mean, he was
Right.
able to walk out, and it doesn't sound. We don't know if he got questioned. Also, to your point, we don't know how old he looked. In my mind, as a mom, I'm walking in, and this is a 20-year-old with a full beard.
Right.
He's built.
Like scrub,
yeah. Yeah. Also, to your point, I'm an advocate for men. I am an advocate for men in the fact that some people will lie on y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And girls will lie because you're cute. I'm 16, not 13, but I'm 16. Right. You're cute. You're 18, 19. How old are you? 18.
Right.
Because no one's saying, show me your ID.
Right.
I'm home alone. I got the house to myself tonight. Right. Come on in. You don't know the wiser.
Right. And You know what? Another thing that bothers me is two separate stories, both young women. The situation with this the singing artist David and how he did that poor child. And then we have, like these two stories that like run parallel in some sort of way, but you really have to dig deep to kind of like start. But it's just like we lost two lives. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? When we have one that's a predator who definitely should pay for his actions. And then we have a young man who we don't know what information he was being told, but I could see that he was complying with what the mother's request was at that particular point in time to leave her home, and he still lost his life. So it's it's a real touchy subject. It's
It's a good
really,
point.
really touchy.
Now, because and not to take us off topic, but because I know that Black people receive a different type of justice, um, but let's pretend that America was fair
Mhm.
because they've already charged her with first degree murder. And to me, that means that they've already looked at phone records. They've already confirmed maybe the daughter did lie because if he was really a predator, knew she was 13, went into the house like, is your mom home? I'm coming in. This is going to be communicated.
Right. There's
It's
going
going
to
to
be a
be in
ledger
text.
of this stuff.
And that text either could exonerate her or get her over. And I'm by no means a legal expert. Let me
Right,
preface
right.
that. By no means a legal expert. But I would think that there is a text history between that guy and the girl. And that could either help the mom or help the victim who lost his life, and that your daughter might have lied about her age. Your daughter might have truly just invited him in, said she was of age. I did read in one news thing that allegedly he had a special need, and a former teacher of his made a
Yes.
comment about that, and said that he was, I guess, a good person.
Right.
Um, I think it's unfortunate. I think it's 1 o'clock in the morning. This is your child. She had made the comments before that doesn't help her case, that if you bring a man in this house, I'll take him out. Not
Right.
paraphrasing.
If you bring another man in this home, so that makes us wonder, like what does she mean? And of course, those details are gonna come out, but in our society, we already know what that means. We there's language in between language, or what do they say? There's unwritten rules within our community. So when we hear that, it's just like, okay, we know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And we can't act naive towards that. So that's why it's like, damn, like we really lost on this one, on all cylinders.
All of
So
them.
knowing this and knowing the platform that we have, what does that even look like for us to heal, or how do we even begin to heal through something like this
For me
as an
personally,
observer?
yeah, I can't heal from it until I hear more details.
Okay.
And I just have to say that from being a Black person in America, and the vulnerability of being a mom, and I'm assuming she was a single mom,
Hmm.
a daughter. Like, it's already such a vulnerable place. But to slap first degree murder on it, I thought that usually comes with like premeditation or something
Right,
like that.
right,
Um, I feel like the charges are too high, and so right now, David deserves what David gets,
right.
because
That's a
David
whole,
deserves what
yeah,
David gets. But then when I think about all the other injustices, I think about Nolan Wells right now. I think
yes,
about
that's another,
how messed up things are. I just and I'm all for. I want David to get if David is guilty of it, I want him to get prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
mhm,
If she murdered this man, like truly murdered him,
yes,
you gotta pay for what you did.
absolutely.
But I hope they do the due diligence for her, because I just don't think we always get the fair due diligence. So I can't begin to heal. And I mean, I'm so broken anyway from our news every day. Broken every day. Every day you just feel what's happening to everybody, because every day you turn on the damn news and it's something happening to one of us, and it's an injustice. And 20 years later we read text messages, and he was a predator, and he knew she was 13, and now mom has been in prison 20 years. She's lost, it just,
somebody hid some information. And going back to what you said, what is due diligence for the mother?
Researching the text messages, in my opinion, any previous core communication between the victim and the victim.
Okay.
Because that's a 13-year-old child, so she's still a victim. She's been on the planet 13 years.
And that's God bless her young soul. And even with that being said, Mel, I want to ask you, and I don't want to offend if this does come off as offensive. Have you ever lied when you were younger to date an older man?
Not to get a man, but I lied to get a job.
Okay, so not to.
And I lied about my age to get a job.
Okay, so is it safe to say that it's a real thing in our community where age fabrication has been shared? Because, and that's only one. Now, remember when we were younger and we were in high school, who were the high school girls going for? Who was the gentleman, the older cast with the flags, the drug dealers around our school taking all the girls? I couldn't get a girl in high school because they looking at me like, you don't got no money, you don't got nothing. But of course, they're gonna act older, look older, and get picked up by the older dudes. You see what I'm saying? So,
well, we grew up in two different places.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
When I was in ninth grade,
I'm talking about NYC. You know what I'm saying? So,
and when I was that age, I was in Germany.
Oh yeah. So it's a whole different.
And I feel so bad because I'm gonna have some brats watch this and be like, well, Melanie was one of the girls that I liked when I was a senior and I was a freshman. But when I was a freshman, and I remember one guy, I'm not even gonna say his name, but he'll know exactly who he is. I remember he's so nice, we're still friends. But he had facial hair, and we were in ninth grade, and I was like, I can't, like, you look grown, and we're all military. So like, I'm not used to even a man having facial hair. So I'm like, bro, you have facial hair and like hair on your legs. I'm not talking to you. I didn't like grown men.
You shut him down. You look like a grown man. So
yeah, and if I'd have taken him home,
you would have got
who knows what my pops would have done.
Yeah, you would have got the full degree.
And let alone my dad walk into the house
and see that. Yeah, it probably, this situation unfortunately could have possibly happened then. And then again, how many other situations that this same circumstance has happened in, and it was different outcomes that we don't even know about. You know what I mean? So go figure. But I just want to say once again, thank you for your time. We ain't gonna keep them on for too long this time. You know what I mean? We just wanted to touch on that. But please leave y'all comments. Let us know how you feel. And, this is our take. And we're definitely going to get Lisa and Gareth on future topics. And they might even circle back and we'll talk about this. But, just keep us in your prayers. And we're just going to keep hammering this out and getting this information to y'all. Thank you. It's time to heal. Do what you need to do to get to a better, safe space and to heal. We out.